Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to create a function to convert the poll entity to DTO and options entity to DTO in poll service implementation class. So let's get started. So here inside this class, let me create a function with the name get options DTO. So here I'm going to import options DTO, options entity. So a function name that we have get option DTO. It will be a public function. The return type of this function that we have options DTO. Inside the argument, it will get options entity object, user ID, that is a type of a long, poll ID, that is the type of long. Inside this function, I am going to create an object of options DTO. After creating an object, we have to set here ID, title, poll ID, and the vote count. Inside the argument of these, we have to pass here options dot get ID, options dot get title, options dot get poll dot get ID, and the get vote count. After that, we have to set here user voted in this option. Inside the argument of this, we have to call the query from vote repository that we have exist by poll ID and user ID and option ID. Inside the argument of this, we have to pass here poll ID, user ID, and the options dot get ID. So on the top of this function, let me inject here vote repository. So it will be a private final vote repository. As you can see, a query inside a vote repository where it's getting poll ID, user ID, and the option ID. It will return a boolean value. After setting these, we have to return here options DTO. Now as you can see, a function get option DTO that has the implementation to convert the options entity to DTO. Now with this, I'm going to create a function where we have to write the functionality to convert poll entity to DTO. So the function name that we have get poll DTO in service. Inside the argument, it will get an object of poll entity. Let me import this. This function will be a public and the return type of this function that we have poll DTO. Let me import this. Now inside this function, we have to get the logged in user by calling a function from jwt-util, a function that we have get logged in user. As you can see in the implementation, we are saving the response of this function into this object that we have logged in user. Let me import here user entity. After getting a logged in user, I am going to create here an object of poll DTO. After creating an object, we have to set here a few parameters. The first we have ID, second we have question, third we have expired at, fourth we have expired, fifth we have posted date. To set the values into these, we have to get them from poll object. As you can see, a parameter that we have poll DTO dot set expired. First we are checking here expired at not is equals to null and poll dot get expired at before new date. Both are written true. Then we have to set here true, otherwise false. After that, we have to set here options DTOs. Inside the argument of this, we are calling a built-in function string on this parameter that we have poll dot get options. Inside the argument of the map, we have to call the function get option DTO. Inside the argument of this function, we have to pass here options object. With this, we have to pass here user ID and the poll ID. At the last, we have to collect all the documents and we have to set the list into this parameter that we have options DTO, that is a type of list of options DTO. After setting option DTOs, we have to set here total vote count. We have to get total vote count from poll object. After setting this, we have to get poll owner user object name that we have poll owner. Into this object, we have to save here poll dot get user. Let me open here poll entity. So inside this class, I'm going to create a relation with the user. Like one user has many poll. Second annotation that we have at the rate join column where we have a column name user underscore ID. Now after getting a poll owner, I'm going to add here if and the else condition where we have to set the username. So the if condition where we are checking if a logged in user not is equals to null and poll owner dot get ID dot is equals to logged in user dot get ID. Then we have to set here a username u. Otherwise we have to set here poll owner dot get first name plus poll owner dot get last name. After setting a username, we have to set here user ID that we will get from poll owner dot get ID. Now at the last, we have to set here voted First we have to check here logged in user. If it's not null, then we have to set here voted. Inside this, we have to call the query from vote repository that we have exist by poll ID and user ID. Inside the argument of this query, we have to pass here poll.getID and the logged in user.getID. This query will return a boolean value. At the last, we have to return here poll DTO. So this function get poll DTO in service has the implementation to convert the poll entity to DTO. Now you can take a look of a poll service implementation. That's all for now from my side. Thanks for watching.